In 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation designating May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week where that date falls as Police Week. Agencies across America celebrate this week, especially remembering officers killed in the line of duty. Now this morning, we're getting an inside look at the Marquette City Police Department. Obviously, a 24-hour-a-day operation. Andrew Lacombe is at the station in Marquette for us today with more. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Vicki. Actually, we're outside. We're getting an outside look first here this morning. And of course, like you said, it's a 24-hour round-the-clock operation. So we're learning more from Corporal Jim Finkbeiner, who's here with us this morning. And Jim, tell me, why did you become a police officer?
Well, I'm from the area originally, and I was lucky enough that I could stay in the area. I really wanted to give back something to my community, and this is a way for me to do it.
Okay, and how many years, can I ask, have you been serving?
I'm in my 13th year now
okay.
as a police officer.
And you're on the midnight shift, obviously, right now. So
right.
So tell me what you typically encounter on a midnight shift.
Midnight shift, a lot of times people think it can be real boring, which it can be at some times. You have nights where you don't have a lot of things, but we typically deal with, of course, the bar closings, which runs a huge gamut of incidents. Can be fights or people that are intoxicated need help. They've had too much to drink. Of course, drunk driving. We get, in the summertime, we start, now that we're hopefully we start getting into more people stealing bikes, things like that. So, we put our officers out. We're as fully staffed at night as we are even during the daytime, of course, to try to keep those kind of things from happening. And around here, it's a real tourist area, and people are out, believe it or not, in the summertime, people are out 24 hours a day. They're out riding bikes, walking their dogs at 4 o'clock in the morning, even though it not a lot, but there are people out there doing it. So we're, want to make sure people are safe and they feel safe.
Okay. Well, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you actually have here at the City Police Department, how it's different than other police operations and what you do. And, of course, we was talking about National Police Week. And so, Vicki and Greg, I wanted to let everyone know about coming up tomorrow. There is, down in Norway, there's the Dickinson County Law Enforcement Agencies hosting the 2013 Upper Peninsula Peace Officer Memorial at the Norway School Auditorium. That's tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. The event begins at the Recreation Lanes in Iron Mountain. And from there, a police procession will happen from the lanes to the Norway School Auditorium, and the service begins in the auditorium at 10 a.m. So that's coming up tomorrow, and the public is invited to attend to honor fallen police officers. And a lot of agencies from Canada, the UP, and Wisconsin will be there. We'll be back here again throughout the morning, but for now, I'll send things back to the studio live in Marquette. Andrew Lacombe, TV6 News.
Now, this is National Police Week, a chance to honor fallen officers and remember those who put their lives on the line every day. To celebrate, TV6's Andrew Lacombe is at the Marquette Police Department this morning with more. Andrew?
Good morning again, Vicki. Now we're inside the booking room here at the Marquette City Police Department, and this is the area you would come if you were arrested for, say, an OWI, and you'd be tied up in this or chained up here, I guess, in this temporary holding area, and you'd be booked into the system. Hopefully this is an area most people will never see, but we're giving you an inside look this morning, and joining me is Corporal Jim Finkbeiner. And you're telling me that a lot has changed with your fingerprints now. A lot of things are done digitally.
Right. Everybody kind of, maybe as a kid, always saw some type of fingerprinting, usually with ink and little cards. And we've pretty much done away with that now. They're very few and far between. Now it's all digitally done. It's all instantaneous. You can actually see it as it's going on, which is nice because you can see if you have good prints, because they do still have to be good. And once you're done, we can instantly send them down to the state. As soon as we touch a button, they're down in Lansing, and they're already being worked on.
Okay.
So it's a very quick process.
So I can just put my hand up here and left hand?
Okay. Either hand.
All right.
Yep, either hand. You can just place it on the screen.
Okay.
And
all 4 fingers?
Yep, put all 4 fingers down, and what you'll see on the screen is your fingerprints. Will slide them down a little bit, and you'll start seeing them come up. And then all I have to do is get it to respond to your fingerprints being there. It captures them, and then it tells us we had a good status. And then you'll move on to your other hand.
Okay. All right, pretty simple.
Yeah, so very simple.
People aren't here for too long. And then now something that people always talk about, the jail being, the city, but this is not The jail, people go across the street to the county sheriff.
The only jail is at the county, and that's that's the next block over. We would just have, it's just a temporary area to do processing, like you had said, an OWI, operating while intoxicated, a DUI, what most people probably know it by. This is the room we would do paperwork basically to complete that. Our data master, which is what we use for the official results, is also down here. So yeah, it's just a temporary area. It's all cameraed and videoed, and so that if there's any issues, evidence-wise, that kind of thing, it's all done here, so there could be no questions as to what actually happened. Okay,
so talk a little bit about OWIs, summer safety. Another topic would be beach safety.
Right. As far as drinking and driving, it's one of those things that never seems to go away. Now it's decreased quite a bit. There's just so many options for people not to drink and drive nowadays, and especially when it gets nice out. You can always walk. Now, say if you're a long ways away, there's taxi cabs. Maybe a designated driver also is always a good idea. And with the summer months, you have a lot more people getting together for beach parties, that type of thing. So you always want to think about that safety thing. And if we're talking safety, we also want to talk about waterfront safety. In the last year, the city's done a lot to institute more lifeguards. We also have a park patrol that goes along the beaches continually during the afternoon and early evening hours. And with the tourist park opening up this year with the new water there and the beach being open, it's even more important that those things are instituted. So the city's done a lot to really help people feel safe, along our waterways.
All right, Jimmy, just a moment to mention the bike auction coming up, right?
Right. Bike auction is coming up on the 29th of October. It's at our cold storage building, which is our Public Works building. It's on Barrack Avenue. Most people can see it when you're driving by on the bypass. It's there on the 29th. The viewing is from noon to 6, and that's when you also can bid on the bikes. Once the bids are all completed after that, they'll go through them, and then you'll be contacted if you're the highest bidder.
Okay, so the 29th of May, that's coming up.
29th of May.
Okay, sounds good. And I know you have a great Facebook page that's growing, and so there's probably information about this on there.
Lots on the Facebook page, absolutely. And anybody that gets on there, just like it, and you'll be Facebook information for waterfront safety, for the bike, any of those kind of things. They're all right there.
All right. I know Vicki liked the Facebook page this morning. And speaking of Vicki, we'll send things back to the studio. We'll be back here again later on. But for now, live in Marquette, Andrew Lacombe, TV6 News.
Since the first known line-of-duty death in 1791, more than 19,000 U.S. law enforcement officers have made the ultimate sacrifice. Men and women put their lives on the line every day when they report for duty to protect their communities. Now, the daily sacrifice is being celebrated this week with National Police Week. And we're learning a lot more about the Marquette City Police Department this morning. TV6's Andrew Lacombe is there getting an up-close look. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey, Greg, this is a sight you'll never see again. I'm sitting in the back of a police car here outside the Marquette City Police Department, and no surprise, it's cramped, but that's also because I'm tall, but I don't think they really make them for comfort in the back seat there. But I'm joined now again by Corporal Jim Finkbeiner, who is going to tell me a little bit more about the patrol cars that you use a lot of these Dodge Chargers, right?
Yeah, right. We use a Dodge Charger. That's what our department has gone with for the last several years, and we've been real lucky, real durable vehicles for us.
Okay, so tell me, how many miles do you put on one of these things, and what's in it?
Well, on an average, this has got the Hemi engine in it, of course, so we have speed, but more important for us is quickness. And the durability of it has been real good for us. We put on average probably anywhere from 25 to 35,000 miles a year on each patrol car. Just depends on if the vehicle's down for any maintenance issues or anything like that. But quite a few miles each year.
Now, you were telling us a lot about it earlier, and one thing that I thought was really interesting was the camera, how that works.
Well, our camera systems are all. This is the mic that the officers will carry, and our camera systems are mounted up inside here. It also has this mic and another mic in the back here to record anything that goes on inside the vehicle. Anytime the lights or the siren are activated in the patrol car, traffic stop, or going to another call, the camera automatically engages and is taping. Also has a feature where the camera will actually have back taping up to 2 minutes before you have activated the camera. It is already taping, so which is good. So in case you thought maybe you've waited too long to hit the lights or siren, you've already got stuff that's at taping before. You can also hit it manually too, just by hitting the record button, and it'll tape also. So it's been real good for us, real good camera, good for the public also.
Yeah, and then one other thing that some people have questions about is sometimes they'll see your car sitting with engine running still, but that's something, you think about where we live. You're telling us about you got to be ready to go at a moment's notice.
Right. In the wintertime, we get a lot of snow, a lot of cold temperatures, freezing temperatures, and the vehicles tend to run a little bit more in the wintertime because if we have to get to a call, you can't be coming out of either the station or if you were downtown or something, getting to your vehicle and having to scrape the windshield off to get to say there was another fight in progress or somebody breaking into a building or whatever it happens to be. You need to get there, as soon as you can possibly get there, and we can't be scraping windshields and things. So, yeah, the vehicle tends to run a little bit more in the wintertime here, just considering where we live.
Okay. Jim, thanks so much for giving us all this look and showing us around this morning. So, of course, it's National Police Week. We've been talking about that this morning. We want to let you know that coming up tomorrow down in Dickinson County, the officers down there are hosting the 2013 Upper Peninsula Peace Officer Memorial. It starts at 9:30 Central Time at the Recreation Lanes in Iron Mountain. Now, from there, police will proceed down to the Norway School Auditorium, where a memorial service will begin at 10. They'll go down US 2, head to Norway, and the ceremony will start there at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that's an event you want to get out to. The public is invited and encouraged to attend that ceremony. For now, we'll head back to the studio this morning. Live in Marquette, Andrew Lacombe, TV6 News.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Hopefully your first and last time in the back of that patrol car.